So welcome along to the Sunday Service Car of the Year Awards. This of course has to be a virtual award this year. I will be physically giving out the awards to the car companies when lockdown lifts, obviously. But right now this has been chosen by the viewers and myself of the Sunday Service that happens every week on this channel at 2 p.m. And during the lockdown I sent out a spreadsheet for everybody to vote on that included all of the cars that we'd had or driven this year and all the vans that have been available to us this year as well. And the list was hugely extensive, and what I've done from that list is pick my top 10 favourite from that, but in this top 10 is the top 10 favourite of what was assembled from the votes. So this is a very general public sort of an award system, which makes it as democratic as I could possibly make the thing, and we actually have had made physical awards to go along with this award as well. So the actual list was over 40 cars long in like just this year, and of course we had a massive lockdown period in this year as well, which made it a little bit more difficult to get access to some of those cars. So some just had to be excluded because they weren't driven by anybody, and that's unfortunate for the cars. But what we did was narrow it down to the winners and people who come up kind of second place. So what I've tried to create is sort of a top 10 of my favourite, most memorable drives that I've had this year, most memorable cars that I've tested this year, and like best value, most innovative. Try to bring in all of those things to make up along this list. We're going to go through the list in no particular order, just the top 10 cars that I've driven this year, and then at the end of that we're going to have the best van of the year, we're going to have the best car of the year, and in the viewer's choice car of the year as well, which was awarded by the viewers of this little program. So you can join this program any Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on this channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let's start off with the top 10 first. Like I say, in no particular order, one of my favourite drives this year was, quite simply, a Mini Convertible. It may seem like a different choice, obviously, out there than many other people would have, but the Mini Convertible left me with a good feeling. A feeling of being in a car that had a bit of power, had a bit of style, had a bit of presence on the road, plus was a convertible, quite simply easy to drive and easy to own, easy to manage, and on a sunny day like I had when I had it for review, it became a really nice car to be in. So yes, Mini Convertible comes in at number 10 for me. At number 9, and again this is not in any particular order, I'm just listing it out so to make it easy to find for you, but at number 9, the Opel Grand Van X, which was a PHEV. I really didn't think I was going to particularly like this because it's like a small SUV or a big SUV with a PHEV connection, but it actually turned out to be quite sensible and I really enjoyed driving it. It was very clever, very cleverly laid out. It's one to watch for the future. I'm not sure where we're going to go with PHEV in the future, but I think this is definitely something that I would be investigating further. Another more recent drive I had as well was something that was delivered over from Spain, which became a very big family favourite very quickly. It was the Cooper Formentor. This is a brand new car, not even for sale yet on the market, and it was already brought over here. This was the Monster edition of it. Really enjoyed that. It's nice to see where Cooper's going. I'd like to see Cooper make something from the Leon rather than making this whole new Formentor thing, which is a big SUV. I want to see something a little bit more enthusiastic and a little bit crazier out there, because that's what Cooper was promised to be. This was a big one on the channel as well as being a big one for me. I really enjoyed the Land Rover Defender. Okay, it's not really a Defender, it's much bigger than a normal Defender, it's got wider, it's more luxurious, it's everything, but still I really enjoyed having my time with the Defender. It's a hugely capable vehicle, will go absolutely anywhere at a bit of a premium, but then there is some van options coming, there's more options coming into that range. Good to see Land Rover coming back with something really good and clever. It's a shame it's not a proper Defender though. Renault Capture, which really came back out this year as being something a bit stylish. Really remarkable. They've done plenty of work on the interior, the exterior, loads of options for you to have. And of course the Capture's very affordable and was the one that started that little SUV market. And it's still in there in the top 10 all the time. Definitely worth looking at. The engine range is pretty good from Renault this year and the lineup looks really well, and that Capture just cuts a bit of style. Coming into our top 5, the Seat Leon. The new Leon has come out. Anyone who knows this channel quite well knows that I'm actually a Seat Leon owner, but generation 2, I'm way behind, I'm way back. So this new Seat Leon actually looks really well. The FR is a little bit firm, but the actual Seat, the standard Seat Leon, is actually a really comfortable, good value drive with plenty of options. A little bit tech heavy on the sat nav and infotainment system, but the rest of it is actually really good. Coming in fifth is the Peugeot E208, an electric car which I really enjoyed. The first Peugeot with a small steering wheel that I actually enjoyed driving around in. I think it's a really clever car, and for an electric car it's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's got a decent range, it's enough room inside, the boot is kind of big, but it's not a massive SUV that's just draining battery power. This is quite an efficient car and the kids really enjoyed it. Colour options are fantastic. It's the kind of car that if you were looking to start into your electric journey, this is where I'd begin with it. This has very little competition out there in that kind of size, but I feel that basically all of the car companies will start making cars this kind of shape, this kind of size, and move into the future. But Peugeot, well, you got there first. Into our top four now is a stalwart of this channel, has come back and absolutely obliterated all things around it, the Skoda Octavia. The one I've had, of course, was a diesel one, but it comes in PHEV and petrol and diesel and all the sensible options. The big estate version of it is one of those cars that you can load up with all your stuff, put some bikes on the roof, stick a trailer on the back, and you'll be happy for the rest of your life. This really is the kind of car that Skoda do very well. This mid-range, mid-size kind of sedan, saloon, hatchback, they do it very well. Tons of room in the cabin, tons of options to have on the outside. The price is starting to climb up a little bit for the Skoda Octavia, but still, it still has that simply clever feel to it. Into our top three here, the Mercedes EClass PHEV is what I think is one of their finest cars they've ever made. It seems to tick all of the boxes all of the time. You've got a 2-litre diesel engine under the bonnet that will easily do 1,000 kilometers on its own, but you've also got a battery pack in the back to run as a full PHEV. Sadly, lacking on the car is the ability to be able to use the engine to charge the battery, but you can do it through deceleration or just plugging it in. This around the city, for those people who do very long commutes, or maybe people who stay on the road the whole time, this will be an ideal car, being a diesel PHEV. It's very rare to see those ones coming through. The price is very much on the high side, but yet we still see this technology starting to come out and people are starting to buy it. Well done, Mercedes, on something entirely different in the electric range. We're coming down to the top two choices, and again this is in no order, so this is not a suggestion as to who's going to win what. The one that stands out in my mind this year is the Honda E. The Honda E, I had a brief drive of it, I have a drive of it again coming up very shortly. The Honda E was something that just really ticked a lot of boxes for me. I wanted a car from the future, I wanted something small and something light and something handy to drive, and yet I want to have reversing cameras and I want to have all of that stuff. Really tech heavy car, looks incredibly well. It's a bit of a mind mess when you get in first trying to figure out where all the buttons are, but once you get over that, it becomes a very clever little car. Plus, it looks insanely cute. One to watch for the future, still a bit expensive though. And now the final position, which is the Volkswagen ID3. The ID3 comes as a package of things, and this is what really made it stand out for most of the viewers on the channel here. It's not just buy a car, drive a car and do the rest of it. Volkswagen are talking about taking over your electricity bills, they're talking about putting in home charger units for you, they're talking about the entire life cycle of the car, which is something that really is very exciting from a car company, as most of the time car companies just get concerned about selling cars and that's it. Volkswagen are talking about end-to-end life when it comes to the ID3, and that's what excited the viewers of the Sunday service, not just the car. Although the car has some software issues at the moment that is being solved by Volkswagen, the actual mechanics underneath work incredibly well. It's a big car, it's a useful car, very useful range, it's rear-wheel drive, so it makes it interesting to drive all the time. The Volkswagen ID3 stands out to me as one of the best cars you can buy at the moment. This year's awards as well, we also examined vans, and really there was only 2 left in that van race at the very end of it. Worth a mention here is the Toyota ProAce City. Really is a very clever little van, lots of standard options in it as well, and it really does do what it says on the tin. Things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard in the car, passenger airbags are standard in the car, and the load-through facility is very clever. But the Outstanding Award and Viewer Choice Award, which I actually have here in my hand, the Sunday Service, and I'll just bring it up close to the camera there, the Viewers Sunday Service Viewers Choice Award for Van of the Year actually goes to the Volkswagen Transporter T6.1. The car has had all of the perfect updates. As a vehicle, as a car, you can have it in different lengths, different heights, you can have any options you want, plus everything can get sorted out inside with their Sortimo options too. So congratulations to the Volkswagen Transporter T61. This award will be sent out to you as soon as possible. Now we come down to my choice for Car of the Year. The Sunday Service Car of the Year is a car that I've driven, a car that I've understood, a car that stands out to me as something that I would want to buy, that I think the end user would want to buy, that I think is good for the consumer. There's all kinds of reasons behind why I would choose this, but the main reason is that it's a damn good car for a first attempt at a real electric car. And yes, it is an electric car. And my choice for Car of the Year from the Sunday Service team goes to the Volkswagen ID3, which is right here. This is the award for that one. As you can see, it's hard to show it on the screen, but hopefully you can see that. So that's the Sunday Service Car of the Year 2020 goes to the Volkswagen ID3. We come down to the most difficult thing that we've had to decide on. Every time a vote came in, it changed the outcome. Literally, right down to the wire, all the way through to this. The people who voted, out of the nearly 60,000 subscribers, the people who voted are the people who submit money by PayPal or channel memberships, or chosen few across the way, the most experienced among us. Huge variety of people that are attached to that. Everybody from accountants to fleet managers, all kinds of stuff had to have a vote on this car. But the car that won out overall is the Honda E, and that award goes there. You can see the Viewer's Choice Award that I have written on the front of that goes to the Honda E. So congratulations, Honda, you've made a car that everybody really wants to have a drive of. So things that didn't quite make it into that top 10 we don't even get to discuss, because it just fell outside that top 10, just fell outside the voting, which is crazy. It was like a Porsche Taycan, Tesla Model 3, the Skoda Kamak, all those good cars that are out there that just fall outside that top 10. But we'll see what happens next year, because this intends to be a yearly thing. Now, if you want to take part and you want to vote in this, you're going to have to become a channel member, or you're going to have to go to patreon.com/Bob Flavin and find me there, so you can submit some money to support the channel, which also supports the purchase of those awards and everything else that goes with it, because, well, you know, it's not sponsored, so I don't have a sponsor to be responsible to, so it's great when it comes to that. Thank you very much to everybody who put in some money into Kitty to make that happen. It's been a really exciting time. This, of course, is a pure viewers award, which allows the viewers to be able to vote on their Car of the Year. Next year maybe we'll be bigger again, but for this year that really wraps the whole thing up. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this kind of content, and I'll see you on the proper 2-hour live stream every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on the channel. Look after yourselves, and until the next time, I'll see you on the far side.